Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go.
In this universe, things are a little bit different. Midoriya having a better mindset, he will always have a natural feel for martial arts and basic skills like boxing, MMA, and etc. And when All Might offer him one for all after he saves Bakugo, his body's already ready to use it, or at least the very least 1% of it. But one day, as Midoriya is walking through the town, there is a huge battle between All Might and a villain that can create portals with this weird purple mist. As this All Might is fighting this weird whitish creature, Midoriya is there and he is horrified because that thing is giving even someone like All Might trouble. And Midoriya accidentally falls through a portal, and All Might is absolutely horrified, not only because he just passed over one for all to Midoriya and he has it. Midoriya is God. No, God only knows where he is right now. As Midoriya would fall through a portal and he would wake up at this in this weird yard. It's this kid with black hair would ask him, "Hey, are you okay?" As Midoriya will be a bit confused, and he asks us, where am I?" As the kid would say, "Hey, you're in my home on Mount Pazu." As he looks up and he sees this person wearing a purple gi. As he asks us, where exactly is Mount Pazu? As Gohan would say, "Oh, that makes perfect sense. I don't, not many people know about some rural place like this, but my name is Gohan. What's yours?" It's Izuku Midoriya. As Midoriya would explain a little bit of who he is or where he came from, as Gohan be confused, there's no city here named Japan. And what are you talking about heroes? Or and what is a quirk? As Deku would explain that he fell through a portal, as Gohan knowing that time travel exists. Oh, it's most likely you got sent to another timeline or universe in this scenario. Well, I suppose the way time travel work here, it is more time travel rather than it is actual. It's more like multiverse hopping than it is actual time traveling. So I suppose it tracks up. As Gohan would ask Midoriya, "Do you need a place to stay here?" As Midoriya says, "Well, I'm supposed to be training," but as Gohan would get an idea, "Wait, do you have your phone with you? I know this really smart lady, and she's even been able to crack multiversal travel in another timeline. So there's no reason why, with enough time, she shouldn't be able to rig up your phone in order to communicate against other universes. She was able to do it with a different set of Dragon Balls, like the Dragon Radar. So she might be able to rig up your phone in order to contact people in your universe, and maybe she might even be able to build a device that allow you to go back home." As Gohan will be flying off, and Midoriya asks, how could you do that?" As Gohan would explain, it's chi, as they would both go to Capsule Corp as in order to not have to carry Midoriya. He would summon Nimbus, and Midoriya is actually pure part, which puts a smile on Gohan's face, knowing that he doesn't have anything to worry about from Midoriya. As he begin flying, and they end up in Capsule Corp, and they explain everything that happened to Bulma, as she's a bit shocked that something like this is even possible. Yet she's married to an alien, so weirder things has in fact happened. So it takes her at least a couple months to get the Sentinel, and using a time machine, parts from a time machine she had laying around, or at least although it's broken, she is able to rig something up. And Midoriya is able to contact All Might to let him know what happened. But Midoriya wasn't just idle. He explained who he is and what he tries to do to become a hero in his world. S. Gohan says, "Well, if you need training, I have someone who could teach you." He's the greatest martial artist in the world, and he's even trained my father. He's definitely gonna be able to help you out. As Midoriya begins smiling, as he is super excited, and he takes him to Sakame house, and Midoriya begs Orochi to train him, but just like in canon in OG Dragon Ball, he asks Midoriya to bring him a girlfriend, as he's a bit confused at how exactly he's supposed to do that. As he, Midoriya goes and he finds a random lady, as he brings her back, and it's lunch. As Roshi would be a bit confused, and she would say, "Long time no see. What exactly happened to you?" As Lunch is saying, well, she went to find Tien, but he wasn't really much for a relationship, so she's just been traveling the world exploring. I didn't know you lived on an island, though. New place you got here. As Roshi would say, well, that was more of a test for you, Midoriya, so that this will suffice. As he, Lunch, and Krillin, and even 18 catch up her and see how she's been. As Midoriya training would begin, and Midoriya would explain what a quirk is to Master Roshi, and he would attempt to use it as he accidentally breaks his arm, as Roshi would quickly give him a sensu bean, and it would heal Deku completely, and he asks, "What? What is this? I'm going to have to take some of these home with me when I go back." As Roshi would explain to Midoriya, "You're using that power all wrong. You're building up the energy all in one part of your body. Why don't you expand it like chi? But for right now, don't use your quirk. We're gonna have to strengthen up your body at least a little bit more before we even try to control it again." And over the months, he's doing the milk delivery training, gardening training, and Roshi have him running away from sharks, dinosaurs, and etc. And it's strengthening Midoriya body tenfold. And in order to give Midoriya a little bit more motivation, even Gohan has been training with Roshi in order to brush off these skills, since he haven't been training much over the years. And this is about 2 to 3 years before the Buu saga. And Chi even lets Goten join, as she thinks it'll be beneficial for Gohan, not only Gohan to hang around people his own age, but as well as Goten to get a basic feel of martial arts to learn how to control his power. And they all been training together. And of course, Deku slow is exponentially slower than both Gohan's and Goten's, but for a normal human, for a world that doesn't come from Chi, Deku is a bit of a prodigy. He's able to pick up at least a feel for it. Although it's very slow, he could already feel the effects from it. Now, although he can't shoot an energy blast, he can't fly yet. He is the slightest bit stronger and faster, and he can feel it around him. He can feel it going throughout his body, and Midoriya is shocked at the sheer use of it. He can even feel different parts of One for All, and it's now fully became acclimated to him. Over the time, Midoriya does in fact get in contact with All Might, and he would explain everything that happened, as all the worry that All Might had disappeared, All Might is as All Might is tasked with explaining to Midoriya parents about what happened to him. As Midoriya puts it in the back of his mind that he's going to bring a sensu beam back to All Might. As for a full year, Midoriya is training intensely with Roshi, and Roshi likes the potential, as he's forgotten what it's like not training superpower individuals, and he likes the slow and steady pace that Midoriya has. As over this time, over these essentially 10 months or a full year, Midoriya is actually able to reach a power level of around 75, which is a lot for a normal human, especially for someone who never came from a Robert Keefe show. And Roshi is extremely proud. As Midoriya said, well, it's not really that much Yes, but in your world, people don't know what she is. And you can move so fast, it's already near hypersonic. This you remind me a little bit of my student, Goku, Gohan's father, as he's seen the immense growth of both Goten and and Goten, and know they both it's Goten mastered Super Saiyan. He's even more powerful than Trunks in this new timeline. So let's just say the Blue Saga is going to go a little bit easier now that Gohan is actually training a little bit more. As he Master Roshi would explain to Gohan that he's extremely proud, as he's excited to see what he would do. As they gather the Dragon Balls, and Shenron actually gives them free wishes this time. As Gohan not wanted, I mean, as Deku not wanted to say goodbye to his friends since he wants to visit them, he would make three wishes. One, the knowledge of how to grow sensu beans, and a good amount of them to take back home with him. Two, the ability to travel or create portals that lead to here and his universe. And he doesn't necessarily need. Oh, and free. I was going to say he doesn't exactly need the wish free. He asks for a small boost in his intelligence. As Shenron would say, that's a simple matter. As before he's about to go back home, Bulma loads him up with a few artifacts since he has been studying under her, at least for his educational points. Just Roshi doesn't have much to offer him. He asks Bulma to tutor him in this world of mathematics, and Bulma is able to hook him up with a bunch of capsule technology, knowing, as he explained, that he doesn't really come from money where he's from. Bulma decides to hook him up with a bunch of capsule core technology, like some capsules, flying cars, even spaceships, and even hooks him up with a gravity chamber so he can go back home. And let's just say all the events of My Hero happened about a year earlier than what they did in canon, so this could actually make sense. Well, not a year, more like a couple months earlier than what it did in canon. Deku would actually be able to go back saying goodbye to everybody and saying he's going to come back come back and visit whenever he has the time. As they will all wave goodbye, and as when Deku left, he have a power level of about 75. As he meets back up with All Might, the first thing he does is to give All Might a sensu bean. As All Might would say, "What is this, young Midoriya? This has the power to heal your injury. It won't heal the scars, but it has the power to regrow limbs. And since this injury only happened a couple years ago, it should be fine." As All Might would bite down on it and sorrow, and not only does he feel full, since he haven't eaten that day, he gets back his muscle figure. He grows bigger, and All Might is shocked. And now that Deku know how to feel power, he noticed that All Might have a power level of about 300, as weaker actually. Let's just say that Prime All Might, or this version of All Might, is the most powerful version, is stronger than he is in canon. Just so I can make this make a little bit more sense. And I'm gonna have to put Dragon Ball knowledge to it, and just expand the power levels. Just know that All Might is the most powerful in the verse. And now that Midori can feel All Might power, he knows what he has to work for. And he's decided to see what happens next. As he also tells All Might he's able to gain control over One for All. As as All Might would ask Midoriya to show it off. As he as Midoriya would close his eyes, he's able to use just about 10% without any training. And I'm saying, a guy's probably going to say, "Hey, this isn't this lowballing it like a lot?" I'm going to say yes. But this is lowballing it a lot. But let's just say right now, as the entrance exam is coming up, he he can use just about 10 to 15% of One for All without any strain on his body whatsoever. And if need be, he can push it at 25, which is already far better than what he had in canon. As All Might will be generally impressed at Midoriya growth, and maybe this villain attack was divine intuition, as Deku would enter the villain, as would enter the exam to enter UA, as he is a lot more confident than he is in canon, not only passing the written portion pretty well, he's able to rack up a bunch of points in the rescue exams, in the physical exam also, as he still saves Rocker from the zero corner, earning rescue points as well. As Midori will ask All Might for a favor, and he would explain some of the technology he got. And over the week, before the UA school actually begun, basically Midori would end all of his family money trouble, as he would essentially introduce the capsule technology and get patents for all of that, including flying cars, spaceships, healing chambers, which is also intense advancements in medical technology, also, as well as he explains the secret of the central beings to All Might. And with the new wealth he acquired, not only is he able to retire his family, he's also able to bring his dad back home. We know he has a dad, but and even Inko is going to be doing a lot better here, as she's finally no longer have to work, and she's going to lose a lot of stress now that her home is finally back together. Deku Deku purchases huge plots of land in private, secure areas which no one knows about except for All Might and his family, as well as buying a new house with state of the art workout equipment. As he also installs the gravity chamber there, as he attempts to use it, starting at 2 times, and he could barely move, as All Might have to come in and cut it off for him. That Midoriya knows he have a lot of training to do, even with just 2 times of gravity. But he's still excited about the prospects. And over this week, Deku is able to set all of this up, essentially becoming one of the richest people in his verse at this point, not because of capsule's technology. As Midoriya is excited about what the future holds.